Hello everybody. I hope you're enjoying the warm spring weather. It probably feels like summer already in a lot of parts of the country in America. It's already been 90 degrees for a couple days up here in Washington, but then it dropped back down to the mid or high 70s, which is normal for this time of the year. I'm showing you some pictures that inspired me to do a lot of the painting that I did. This is our garden in Pennsylvania. This was originally a vegetable garden that I had without an edge, and even though the ground was gently sloping, it was really washing away too much during heavy rains, and so I decided to move the vegetable garden to another part of the yard, and this was a perennial garden, a perennial flower garden, 3-season garden, and it was 25 by 25 feet, and I put some slates in the middle and some chipped mulch that made it very easy to weed. And this was a single petal rose on the left there, the pink one near the bird bath, and I just love that rose. It was such a good bloomer, and it reminded me of a wildflower, which is one of the reasons I loved it. And on the slates there's a little stone turtle to give the garden some interest. And here's the garden as it was filling in more. There's some sedums there in the corner, and you can kind of see the wood where it was built up on the right there. I leveled the area, and my husband installed the 6x6 wood timbers for me. He did such a wonderful job. And here you can see a little bit more detail of it, where we can see it's higher. I think it was 3 timbers high on the upper right corner, and then it went down to 2. And the view in every direction was so nice. I just loved that house and that yard. Oh, there's our little dog Penny that we had. We were on an acre back there, and I would tell her, she was such a smart little dog, I would tell her to go find the kids, and she would go find them, and then I'd go to where she was, and she had the funniest look on her face, as though she was saying, "I found him." She was cute. Okay, and then here's some more pictures of the garden, if they will show up. That was a cloudy day, so I'm not sure how well they're going to show up. Oh, here's the garden in the summertime in all of its glory. Really beautiful. That was a Singing in the Rain rose there in front of the garden shed that belonged to my neighbors. But that Singing in the Rain rose did really, really well. It was so beautiful. I had all kinds of flowers. I had Robert Loosestrife and Coneflowers and Daylilies, the Sedums, and miniature roses, Marigolds. And, there were a lot of deer in that area that crossed the roads all the time. This used to be a deer run back behind the fence where they would come from the hills and go down to the creek. And they probably still did, but they never came into our yard because we always had dogs. And our neighbors had dogs too, so they kind of stayed away, which was nice because they would have eaten a lot of what was in that garden. And this was later in the summer. There are black-eyed Susans over there on the left, and you can see the coneflowers right in front of my son's sun hat there. He was helping me weed that day. My kids both helped me. My son and my daughter both helped me weed the garden, and it had so much mulch in it that it was very easy to weed, and it only took about 10 minutes. There's a pile of weeds down in the front there. He's wearing his sun hat. I told him he could sit down to do it. I got him something to sit on, but he said he'd rather just stand up and do it. He wanted to do it his way. And then the garden would turn. It turned all kinds of colors in the fall. I wish I had a picture. I think I have a picture somewhere in undeveloped film of, I'm sure I do, of that Autumn Glory Sedum, because it was just marvelous when it came out. But this garden was the inspiration for this picture that I did. This is the coneflowers, and I painted a bumble because the bumblebees were always around in my garden and around my yard, and I never got stung by a bumblebee. I'm not sure if they even do sting or not, but I always loved watching them busily working around the garden, pollinating everything, and then I liked the humming noise that they made too. So thank you for being with me today, and I'm almost done with the series that I have of special pictures that I'm doing for summer. So I'll be back with that, and I will show you some of the work that I've been doing. I've organized 4 closets, and I'm working in my yard, so I'll show you all of that on a later day. Thank you for being here today, and I hope you have a great week.